Hi everyone, welcome back to the gang. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Chinaza, in case you don't know who I am. This is Naza's diary, and we're gonna jump right into the video. So before you begin, please subscribe and like. I usually do not care, but I think I should start caring more because this is my channel. So like, act right, subscribe, like, comment. Thank you. So our video today is going to be about point of view you have walls in your heart. Now before I start talking about this video, this isn't necessarily like a walls like to keep like relationships or friendships away. This is like more of an internal thing, and there are people who genuinely have walls that keep people out. Like they don't allow people to get too close to them. They don't know how to be vulnerable with people. If you get too close, they bite. Like you can't ever know their deepest secrets, their deepest traumas. Like they don't want to be vulnerable. That's not me. I'm the kind of person that is like easy to flow with and talk to. But what I now found was that the walls I had were kind of like internal, and it wasn't that I wasn't talking to people, it's that there were ways that I felt that I had already closed off. Like I'm not going to be willing to share this part, or I'm not going to be willing to heal this part. Like I'm going to keep holding on to this part and trying to work it by myself. So essentially it's like I talk to people, I let people in, but you see those hard parts of me, those parts of me that are like wait, like in the inside where actually only God can see. Like I was like, I have walls in there. So the first thing I'm going to start with is walls. Like why the heck do we put up walls? We put up walls to protect. We put up walls to kind of like keep danger out. We put up walls to keep like bad weather out, changes out. We put up walls to make sure that we are safe. Like if you feel like you're in danger, or you feel like you need to have boundaries, some of us build up walls. Some people put up boundaries, some of us build up walls. But yeah, like we have walls up to protect ourselves. And usually people have walls to keep people out. Like, you know, I know some friends of mine that are not that vulnerable to talk about like issues. Like you're going to have to like pester because they're not used to people like, you know, wanting to know all the deep stuff about them. For me, my experience is kind of unique. So what happened with this situation was I was talking to my brother and my cousin, and we had a disagreement, right? And immediately we had the disagreement. Like I felt very, very intensely angered, and I felt like I just like literally, like, you know how those movie scenes be like, you know, guns in front. Like I felt like I was fighting for myself. I felt like somebody out there was trying to get me. I felt like you have to keep protecting yourself, like people are going to keep hurting you. And so this came from like within my house. Like it wasn't like, oh, some guy out there was going to make me realize this. Like this was between me and my brother and my cousin. And it was then and there that I realized like I'm protecting myself from getting hurt. So like the walls that I have in my heart are such that if I feel like I'm nearing that point of getting hurt, I'm going to like, you know, start trying to protect myself. And oftentimes the person on the other end may not be necessarily trying to hurt me. In this case, it was just a disagreement with my brother, but I felt genuinely like, oh my god, like this is why you have to be by yourself. This is why you have to always protect yourself. This is why you can, this is why you have to always have guards up. This is why you have to like have walls. This is why you always have to be strong. Like you can't let people get close to you. You can't let people hurt you. You have to be strong. You have to be mean. You have to be, you know, like it was kind of realizing that I have this flight or fight sense of like reaction that is ready to make sure that I don't get hurt. Sometimes it genuinely helps, most times it doesn't. And so if I feel like I am at a point where someone is about to hurt me or do something like that, that sense of like fight or flight is going to come and it's going to like blare in my head. And basically I just realized that I actually have a huge fear of getting hurt. Like I have a huge fear of becoming broken, of becoming hurt, of dropping breakfast, of being sad, of not knowing what to do with myself, of being in a place where I'm just confused. And the younger version of me, like my younger self, like, you know, when I was like a very big romantic, like reading all these romance novels, I know they do again, but I was a very like romantic person, like, you know, hopeless romantic. And you know, I wanted to obviously like grow up one day and have like a cute relationship or whatever. And obviously like life used to life the normal, sure you get. But what I now realized is I have a fear of getting hurt. Like, I have a genuine fear of being that girl that is crying because something happened with this person or that person. Like, I have a fear of just being that. And that's because like I kind of like tend to see myself as a victim, as a person that is not strong, as a person that is at the mercy of her feelings, as a person that's not emotionally mature or intelligent, as a person that anybody can just like literally come and hurt. But these things are not true. These things are literally just lies. These things are not what God says about me. I'm not weak. I'm not a victim. I'm strong. I'm confident, and I'm everything that God has made me to be. So it's like, why do I then like literally like sometimes I'll literally sit and then I just shake in my bed because maybe it's like I feel like I am on the brink of like being hurt and I'm scared I'm going to get there, but I'm not even getting there. But it's just this internal feeling of like having to always protect myself or provide for myself, like even in terms of like money, like having to work, like right now I'm working like 3 jobs, but like having to work that much or having to extend myself so much. Like there's just this genuine thing in me that is scared of getting hurt, of being rejected, of being disappointed. Like I don't want it. Like I don't want to be hurt. I don't want to cry. I don't want to ever experience pain that is like extreme. Even though I talk to people about things, there are parts of myself that I had like blocked off. Like there are parts of myself that didn't even make sense as to why there were walls there. And for example, like I started going to Ransom in my freshman year in university. It's an on-campus ministry, student-led. It's amazing. We lit. And I remember like for my first 2 years at Ransom, like when people are worshiping, like and everyone's like hands in the air, people are crying, people are talking to God, I would just feel this like emptiness and heaviness in my heart. It was like there was a wall there that was refusing. Like I genuinely felt like a physical wall in my heart, and that took me like 2 years to finally break down. And so like the fact that like fast forward to 2 years after that, also I'm still here realizing that those walls are actually real. Like that's why you felt that way during worship. Like you genuinely have walls on the inside that you're not even aware of. And so basically it's like, wow, like I'm actually that scared of getting hurt to the point that I have walls in my heart and parts of myself that I don't even want God to like reach. And I didn't know this. Like I promise you, I didn't know this was a thing. I did not feel any way that this was a thing. So that's why I had to write it down so that I don't digress too much. But yeah, like just a genuine fear of being broken, of being a sad girl, of being like, God forbid, hey Jesus, I will never go sad. Give me value. But bro, like a genuine like, I don't want to be sad. I don't want to be a mess. Like I don't want my life to revolve around an identity of heartbreak. That's what I'm scared of. It's like being hurt to the point that hurt is like my identity. Like I'm so scared of getting there. So then what happened obviously was like when God showed me this, and even till today, like literally this is something that even God had to like bring to my consciousness again this weekend, is you don't have to be scared of getting hurt because your torment is over. Like all the things that you're so scared of happening to you is not going to happen to you anymore. Like all of that is in the past, all of that is over. But even like I don't know, like I feel like I'm incoherent at this point, and this is like my first very vulnerable video, so like y'all give me some I'm trying. The more I get close to God, the more that he's been showing me that my thought patterns have to change. For example, the old Chinaza is the kind of person that if something goes wrong, like I argue with a friend or I have a conflict related issue, like I will sit there and make my bed there and be hurt about it. If something bad happens, like hurtful, like I would sit there and make my bed in there and I would get comfortable there. I would make my identity there. Like I didn't know that I was even carrying the identity of a rejected or broken or hurt person, because I'm just like, where is this coming from? Like I feel good, like I don't feel like anything is wrong with me. But then you get closer to God and then you realize like, oh my God, I have to fix this. I genuinely have to fix this. And so that's kind of what happened for me, was just realizing that there's almost this part of me that is just waiting for that hurt or that like you know, like, it's like I didn't know that I was feeling like a victim almost. Like, I'm almost waiting for the victimization to continue. And it's like, where is this coming from? Like, what the heck is wrong with you? So basically, what I've had to do with these walls in my heart and this part of me that is just setting that she's going to be hurt, because God forbid, it's just like learning to put God's truth above how I feel, and, you know, like, genuinely, like, carry his truth on my head. Like, if God's truth says that I am blessed, if God's truth says that I am loved, like, genuinely, like, putting that above how I feel. For example, if I'm in my bed and I feel overwhelmed and I feel like those thoughts or those feelings of getting hurt are coming back, I feel those feelings of fear, like that feeling of fear, that feeling of disappointing myself, that feeling of being hurt, like literally trying to take what God says and putting it above it. So it's like the feelings are there and they're valid, like whatever has made me feel this way, fine, but I don't have to make that truth. Like, I don't have to make those inadequacies my truth. Like, I don't have to carry that as my identity. I don't have to carry that as my persona. I don't have to, like, make my bed in the hurt. The hurt can happen, and I can cry, and I can learn from it, and I can keep moving, but I do not have to make my bed there. I do not have to sleep there. I do not have to define myself by it. Like, I am not a victim, I'm a victor. If God said in his word that I am victorious, that he already won the battle for me, like, I actually have to believe. One thing that I know that has really been very helpful in me being willing to, you know, let down those internal walls, something in Isaiah 43:18 and 19. Do not remember the old things. Do not consider the former things. Behold, I will do a new thing, and it will spring forth. Shall you not be aware of it? I will even make a road in the desert and rivers. I will even make a road in the wilderness and rivers in the desert. And the thing that I hold on to is, behold, I am doing something new. Chinaza, will you not be aware of it? So I came across this verse, like, when I go back to the US, like, after my time at home, and I just knew that something is going to change, something is going to happen. Like, I have to grow. I just knew what was going to happen. I didn't know how, I didn't know under what circumstances. Like, I just kept feeling like there is something that I need to do newly. There's something about me that needs to change. And now it's like, yeah, my thought patterns, the way I think about myself, like, I have to stop dwelling in my feelings and, like, running with it. Like, I have to stop living my life as though my feelings are leading me. Like, God's truth should lead me. Like, I'm loved, I'm chosen, and I'm amazing, and I'm confident, I'm beautiful, and period. Like, that is what God says about me, and I have to walk in that consciousness every single day. And then there's even another one in Isaiah 54 that says, do not fear. Verse 4, do not fear, for you will not be ashamed, neither be disgraced, for you will not be put to shame, for you will forget the shame of your youth. So, like, I guess one thing about it is also, like, that feeling of, like, embarrassment, of, like, oh my, I don't see some shaggy, like, bruh. And it's like, I'm like carrying that internal embarrassment. It's like, God does not see me as an embarrassment. God does not look at me by, like, the things I have been through. Like, God does not look at me and call me my mistakes or call me my errors. Like, God looks at me and sees who he made at creation. He sees the me that he made. He sees the me that's going to come into purpose. He sees the me that walks with him. And so just, like, allowing myself to, like, anytime, like, those thoughts come back, I keep telling myself, Chin, as if God is doing a new thing, will you not be aware of it? And so, like, what I'm going to say, like, to end this video, because I'm tired of talking, if you're like me, you've had internal walls, you've had internal thoughts towards yourself that were not necessarily positive, and you didn't even know about it until this point, the best thing I can tell you to do now is to talk to God about how you feel. And look into the Bible for verses. Like, I know people say God spoke to me, God said. Everything that God has told me has been from my Bible. It hasn't just been like, I saw words in the sky. Like, my Bible, everything that has been getting me through has come from my Bible. Another thing that's been getting me through is, like, something that says, blessed is she who remembers the things that has been promised her by the Lord. It's like God has promised me to make me a beautiful woman, an amazing woman, a woman that's going to grow up to actually do things and make impact. And I have to believe that no matter what it feels like. But that came from the word. I can't hold on to, like, a quote on Instagram from me. I have to hold on to the word, like his word. So in here, Literally, they are promises, there are affirmations, there are truths. So if you want to start breaking your walls down, go in here first, and then you'll see how God truly feels about you. And you can actually now base your identity on the truth that God says about you. I have chosen God's truth above my feelings, because my feelings are there, and then God's word is there. God's word from the Bible is there. So it's like, who am I going to pick? Am I going to pick how I feel over his truth? I'm going to pick his truth. So pick his truth every time. It might start small. It might start really, really small. But I want you to still take those baby steps, and you're going to be able to make it through. But that's the end of my video. This is like the most serious I've ever been on this YouTube place. And oh Lord, you know, it's fine. It's okay. The song of the week is The Blessing by Elevation Worship, and I'd love for you to listen to it. And that is the end of my video. Basically, I hope you enjoyed it. And you can reach out to me through Instagram, you can reach out to me through YouTube, you know, it's up to you. And I hope you have a good rest of your week. Bye. Try to do YouTube video, everything is just, it's hard. I don't shoot one still like how many times. I just they try.